You are listening to Lyrics of Love.
Welcome, everyone. This is Lyrics of the Lyrics of Love show, Global My ENT as well. Today's topic on this show, I'm actually talking about the situation of women that say they have been in or are in or got out of an abusive or controlling relationship. These things that I say on this show are only my opinions. They are not to be those of every male or every woman. I'm not a therapist. I'm just one that has been in certain situations. It's a very, very important topic to me because everything that is going on in the world, it is due to the relationship, to me, between a man and a woman. It takes two. Ladies and gentlemen, if you're looking at yourself right now, you have two of everything. If you're watching me, you have two of everything. You have two pair of eyes. There's two nostrils make one nose. I don't want to hear, I got one nose. You have two nostrils make one nose, top and bottom. Lips make a mouth, top and bottom. Teeth, you name it. Whatever you want to go to, you have two of everything. To me, that's God's ultimate design. Two. Every one person is a product of two. We don't have two biological moms or two biological dads. We have one mom and one dad. Every one person is a product of two. I'm not going to get deep into different books. I'm not going to get into science and whatever the case may be. I don't want to bore you with all of those different things. We're going to hit head on to common sense things. Men and women are the most powerful thing in this planet together. One man creates spirits and the woman manifests it. I call my mom my old earth for the simple reason that was my old earth. That was the earth I lived on. Inside of a woman we can breathe, grow, eat. You just name it. And the stomach gets round like an earth, round. So I call my mom my old earth. So the women have those powers, and men have the power to actually create spirits. So together, there's no one without the other. Together, we are like the most powerful thing in the world. You want to come up with people create these things. They make these things. And it's only one way to create people. That's one man, one woman combined together. That's how powerful we are. When you look at everything in the world, that's what that comes from. That powers that be, one man, one woman coming together to actually create and look at the world. So it's very important that we get the union, the relationship between us, men and women. It's very important that we get this part together of understanding of things, because it's a lot of things that are going misunderstood. We're all spiritual out here. So no matter, once you strip yourself down from all of the things that make you look like a woman, you're spiritual. And it's no different when you strip us down to things that make us look like a man. We're all spiritual, so therefore we're all the same. This government does not want us to come together and be powerful, or as most people say, be great. They don't want us to come together and be powerful and great, because once we do that, then we would know the ultimate goal in life, our whole purpose and everything is for us to be here for one another. So many different things out here. You guys are being misled, misinformed. Therefore, there's a lot of misunderstanding of people, other spirits and things in the world, period, because you're being programmed. You're being controlled, because there's a process of elimination, and that's separation. A lot of women say that they are in relationships that are where their mate is controlling, and I've asked so many women, and they say, and I say, well, what is the person doing or saying that makes you believe that they're controlling or narcissists or all of these other different type of things that people say? the government puts out to separate us and everything else and make us look at one another in a whole nother different type of light. So a lot of women says, well, a man wants me to be submissive and does do everything that he tells me to do. He tries to control the situation, control the household, or this or that, or everything has to go his way. Okay, a lot of people in this world, we have jobs, right? So I can ask the majority of women in this world that have a job, your job controls every aspect of what you do. For when you come in, how much they're going to pay you, when you're able to go on break, when you're able to go on leave, go on vacation time, also how to wear your hair, what type of shoes and clothing to actually wear just as well. You cannot leave or whatever until they tell you can. You have a certain type of shift, duties on that shift, and there's certain things, and that you are given a handbook of whatever job you are entering. If you go to school, you have the same thing. It's a handbook of the different things of what to do and what not to do. Studies that you have to study, because these are the guidelines, these are the rules and regulations to whatever. I don't care if you own a car. There are rules and regulations to this car, whether you're getting insurance. If you have a car that you are renting, leasing, whatever, there's guidelines with that vehicle. There's a certain amount you have to pay. You have to get a certain amount of insurance. When you get insurance, you have to put every person that's going to be driving the vehicle on the insurance. You have to have a license. You have to have plates for your vehicle. It has to pass the emission test just as well. I mean, there's so many things in this world. We are in a world of government, where we are being controlled, period. So if you're going to do all of that for materialistic things, like shoes to go get your nails done or whatever, because you're going to work this job in order to do so. So you make the money and vice versa, and you go off and you spend all this money, you go on all these trips, these girl trips and whatever, because you listened and you allowed your job to control you, vice versa. You get all of these different things, and they're great for you, and they're great, and you don't mind. You might even come home and complain, possibly, but you're going to go to work every day, and then you have to do that until you're 60 or more in order to retire from this job. And you have to work that same job for I don't know how long in order for you to even pull anything out of it. We're talking 401k, we're talking a whole lot of things. So you're being controlled on a day-to-day basis. But when you come home, when it comes to your mate or your man or your woman, I'm talking to men too, because there's a lot of men out here that say their woman require this and that. But you will go home to your mate and will not be able to give them whatever it is they want. But you'll go off and you'll do it for all the materialistic things in the world. So when a man wants something or a woman wants something, it's controlling. Make this make sense to me. Please make this make sense to me. You get up every day, all day, you're controlled. You're manipulated. You're programmed. You're allowing yourself to be so. I don't care whether you have an Instagram or YouTube or channel, or I don't care what it is that you have. There are guidelines to how to utilize it, and you have do's and don'ts. There are consequences when you don't abide by certain type of rules. But a lot of women are claiming that they're in controlling relationships. But if a man wants something a certain type of way, he's not able to get so. If he asks for anything, he's controlling. That just doesn't make sense to me. I don't really believe that women actually truly care about men, or even believe that we even have feelings, emotions, things that make us cry and hurt and everything else. You have been brainwashed, programmed, and manipulated to believe that men are these big, strong guys. They're protectors, they're providers. It's in our nature. Is this, is that. Man, we hurt too. Women, we hurt too. We are trained or self-programmed and conditioned to bottle things in, to withhold things, suppress things. Be a man. Be tough. Be strong. Don't be no punk. Don't cry. We are trained in this world as men to do for a woman. Ask yourself, the majority of women are taught by another woman, or even a man for that matter, or what a man is supposed to do for you and not to you. A man is also taught and trained the same thing, or what to do for a woman and not to do to her. Don't call a woman out a name. Don't hit no woman. Open the door for a woman. Do this and do that. You protect, you provide, you do vice versa. No one is teaching anyone out there about how to treat a man. It's almost as if we don't have feelings and emotions, and if we do, shame on us. It's hard to be tough all the time. It's hard to just protect all the time, to provide all the time. I know you can say, oh, it's in our nature. It might be even some guys that say, hey man, it's what we supposed to do. We supposed to protect and we supposed to serve. It's in our nature. But we get exhausted. It's no different than going to work every day and doing that. We get exhausted with our jobs. So we might go there and we're providing for the household and our kids and vice versa. But you're going to work, you're tired, you're exhausted. But that's the part where you are providing. You're exhausted. And we get exhausted, we get tired, we get frustrated. And the last thing we need when we come and confide in a woman is to say that we're complaining too much, or be a man, or this is what we're supposed to do, or we're supposed to do it out the kindness of our heart and not expect a dang on thing back in return, none whatsoever. Just do it. Be quiet. Where do our feelings and emotions go? It's almost as if a woman is saying, have no emotions, have no feelings. And if you do, control your feelings and emotions and your actions. There are more suicides in men, more suicide attempts in men than they are women, than there will ever be. Because we're constantly suppressing so many things. Period. We cannot do anything or voice our opinions or anything. Soon as you do, a woman is telling you that you're weak. It's a sign of weakness if we express ourselves to a woman. Weakness? Why is that? We're complaining, or we're acting like a female because we have feelings and emotions. You guys are forgotten that we are spiritual beings. Human beings, whatever you want to call it. We too have feelings. And Father's Day is very small. The daughters of men are being trained the same thing, so therefore there would be a lot of females that will have daddy issues. But women are the most controlling people on this planet, to me. Off top, we are supposed to do so much for you, and you control the whole relationship off top, the whole narrative of everything, from the moment to how we can and cannot approach you. When we do have a conversation, we're supposed to ask you to go out, right? Because you're in control of everything. So it's kind of like, when you gonna take me out? When you gonna take me out on a date? We ain't went on no date yet. Nah, you can't come to my house. Nah, I got kids, You're controlling everything off top. But as soon as a man wants something, then he's controlling. Make this make sense to me. I am so tired of females talking about they were in a controlling relationship, or they are in a controlling relationship, just because a man has feelings and emotions and he wants something how he wants it. As if we're not entitled to have so. As if we're nothing. So at this point, you guys are even controlling that aspect. We can't have feelings, we can't have emotions, we can't express them neither. Because if we express them, we have to express them the way you want them to be expressed. Well, once you say something to a person once, it's calm and it's cool. When you have to say the same thing to a person twice, the level of your voice is going to change. The tone, everything is going to change. It's not going to be the same calm, cool way the second go round. Definitely not the third go round. By the time the fourth come around, you can't be expecting that first calm tone. So now if the tone goes up, it's a problem. But again, you were not sympathetic to my needs, my wants, my feelings, my emotions, anything like that off top if I had to tell you more than once. To you, I'm nothing. As a man, I'm nothing. I just supposed to do for you. So once my tone goes up, now, again, I'm controlling or now I'm disrespecting you. There are many forms of abuse. So women can abuse a man more without even touching a man, without striking a man, hitting a man, or at all. You can abuse us and hurt us way more, far more. And don't get me, I'm not condoning in domestic violence. I don't want you to get my words misconstrued. What I want you to understand is a lot of you women are doing so much hurtful, harmful things to a man, belittling a man and bashing and bringing a man down, so much disrespect, so much everything, and you know it, but you will not take accountability for it. And once a man raises his tone or acts or puts his foot down about what he wants, he's controlling. Okay? He's a narcissist. He's everything in the world but a human being. He's everything in the world but a spiritual person. You're not listening. You don't care. You don't care about him. As soon as he says something, he's controlling. Everything has to be your way. Well, but when you go out there in that world and you have all of these different things, you will do it for materialistic things, but you won't do it for a human being, another man, the man that's supposed to be in your life, the man that's supposed to be your better half, your husband, or whatever the case may be. Even if it's a man that you're trying to actually get involved in, you won't even allow yourself to do that, because off top to you, you're like, hey, you know, I ain't his woman and he ain't my man. But you want him to be your man by doing all the things that a husband and a man is supposed to do. Take you out, do this, do that, do this, do that for you. But when it comes time for him, he's controlling. Gotta make this make sense, man. We're being separated. We're being torn apart. The whole thing that was made up of battle of the sexes, it should never have been. Why are we battling? You know, we have different powers, but one power it would not be if it wasn't for my power, and if it wasn't for your power, then mine wouldn't be. So together our powers are only great when we work together. Together we're powerful, separated we're nothing. But we have to come and understand one another. And women, you have to understand that men are spiritual beings. We are human. We do have feelings and emotions. We have them. I don't care about all this tough hysteria that you believe that we have, and you look at us and it's the muscles, it's this, is that. That has nothing to do with the inside of anyone. You women can be the most beautiful, gorgeous women in the world, nice bodies and everything, but if your spirit is messed up, you are not a great person. Who cares what you look like at this point? Everything is about the inside. Everything is deeper than the surface, right? So just because you see a man doesn't mean that he doesn't hurt. And all of that comes from suppressing, a man suppressing so much anger and so much this, so much that. And because you, all the time he comes to you, you're not there. You're not there. You oh man, whatever, man. He controlling. He just want things his way. He want things. What's wrong with that? Don't you want things your way? Don't the job and everything else you go around doing, don't they want it their way just as well? But when a man wants something, it's a problem. He's controlling. Come on, you gotta make this make sense. Because at this point, if you listen to yourself, you do not care about the man that's beside you. You do not care. And if you're teaching that same thing to the women that you are raising, your young ladies, then that's terrible. If you're teaching that to your son, that your son has no value in this world, he's not supposed to have feelings and emotions, you are creating something in this world where you will see so much violence. Young men in gangs and everything else, you will see so much. That's why this between a man and a woman is so important. This union between us is so important. If we don't understand this, it's going to be lost. Men out here are suffering. They have no one to turn to. They're too afraid and too tough to go to a homeboy and say things. We'll talk and whatever, but we're not going to cry. And those that do, that's how bad it has gotten. That's how much we've suppressed. That's how much a man has dealt with it and held it and bottled it up so much that it becomes explosive. You have made that man feel like he's nothing. You have bashed him and brought him down. And every time he came to you and said something was going on with him, you made him feel like he was nothing. He had no feelings. His feelings didn't matter. What do you think is going to happen? Make it make sense. Controlling? Come on, make it make sense. Abuse? I think you're being more abusive than anything. We have to understand what's really going on in this world. But it starts with us. A man and a woman. If we do not understand one another, we're lost out here, and so are our children. You can't teach your young ladies that a man's feelings doesn't matter or a man is controlling because he wants something. We all out here wanting something. You'll work your butt off for materialistic things that has no value. But people are the most valuable thing in the world. When a person comes to you and say they're hurting, or you've hurt them, or you did X, Y, and Z, or whatever the case may be, and you fan them off, or you do whatever, and you tell them they're controlling it or whatever, just because they want something a certain type of way to make them feel happy, that's a problem. But you'll go off and you'll do it for whatever pair of Jordans, or nails done, or lashes, and your hair done, and jewelry and clothes, guys, and all type of money and cars and all these different type of things, but you won't do it for a person. It goes back to the beginning of what I said. People make everything in this world. You do not value things over people. You do not value people are the most valuable thing in the world, because without people, there would be none of these things. So it goes back to the same beginning of what I said. 2, God's ultimate design of man and a woman. Everything in this world is created by people. There's only one way to do so, men and a woman. We have to get this part right. It's not controlling because a man wants something. And if you understood that, took time out to care about a man and his feelings, instead of overlooking him and saying, well, he tough, he should deal with it, or he'll get over it, or whatever the case may be, or what this and that. Men are out here hurting. And women, you're not being controlled. A man just wants what he wants, no different than what you want. So if you're calling it control, but you want what you want, so if you say a man wants you to do something and then you say, nah, I ain't doing that, then that's you wanting what you want. So you say, nah, I don't want to do that. And you go off and you do what you want. So wouldn't that be you being controlling? Wouldn't it? Make it make sense. Stop it, stop it, stop it, stop it. Your job and your everything controls you. Everything around the world, the government. We get tired. We get tired. We get tired. We have feelings. We get depressed. We get down. We get the same as you. So why should you be able to do it, not us? No, we're not weak because we get weak at times. Because we could be strong on a day-to-day basis. If that's the case, men are supposed to be strong on a regular day-to-day basis. So if we're carrying all that weight on our shoulders, man, our shoulders are going to get weak. They're supposed to. If we're carrying some, our arms are going to get tired. Legs are going to get tired. If we're supporting and taking care of so many things, we're going to weaken. The lifespan of a man is shorter than a woman because we're putting so much pressure on us. So when we come to you women with a complaint or anything, listen. Don't overlook us. Don't tell us we're being controlling because we just want something. I think it's you that's being controlling. The majority of women are the most controlling, narcissists, people, selfish people in the world, to me. Think about it. It's my time. Peace.
We're getting your mind right with Lyrics of Love.